Hi, I'm Xavier, your relationship coach here on social media. You might know me from TikTok with over 500,000 followers, Instagram over 250,000, and Facebook over 200,000. I mean, the list goes on, right? But either way, I've had success with thousands of people, one-on-one appointments, teaching a class every week, and I've been doing this for years. So what I'm gonna do is share some knowledge on today's episode. I get questions every week that pour in. So what I do is I choose the ones that stand out the most. And this will be a little bit longer form content. So you'll get to hear my answer in more form, because on Instagram, it's usually difficult because I get like a minute or so. And I know you can record longer, but this is what YouTube is for. So let's see. Okay, so first question I got here is, why do narcissistic men insist on getting you pregnant, starting a family, and then leaving? So here's the thing. Narcissistic or manipulative type guys, they are looking for a conquest. They want someone that is going to be of service to them. And the thing is, they have this idea that you are out of reach. And what I mean by out of reach is when you're out happy, living your life, being successful, doing all the things that you wanted to do, that you set out for, there is a energy about you, right? There's a glow. There's a, okay, I'm good on my own. And they notice that, especially if people around you see it. So what happens is they think, man, I want to get that person. I want her. And see, with a guy that's actually, fair-minded, that actually cares about how you feel, that's looking for a partner, this works because it's like, okay, he's going to put in the effort to learn about you and provide equality and look at you as a human. But with a narcissistic or manipulative guy, it's more about, oh, okay, I need to get her so that she can be for me. Because all of those gifts that she has, all of the things, her communication, her ability to grow and work through things and solve problems, and the energy, I just want that for me. So the thing is, though, internally, they know that they're not going to be enough to provide themselves to the situation to make it work. Because typically they've gotten around off of not growing, not solving problems, not working through things, not resolving anything. So when they get you to like them, they think of it as, I gotcha. It's like catching a Pokemon. And you're still somewhat out of reach. So you gotta think about that. Like, even though we're dating, you're still good. Like, if we break up tomorrow, you can go meet someone else. And then I have to sit here thinking about how I lost you. So I have to get you a little bit more invested. This situation has to be a little bit more solidified in order for you to be here, but in order for me to feel confident, right? So it's more about how I can feel more confident. I can't feel that way when you're still able to go out, because if you break up with me, then that means you can meet someone in a week and you'd be fine. No, you have to get married to me. I need people to know that there is a title on you. Do you see how I skip past all the parts where I'm actually supposed to show up for you? You see how I just want to go to next level as quickly as possible? Do you know what that means? Do you know how that aligns? Because, and I know that you've noticed this, when you get with this type of guy sometimes, they move really fast. It's always like, that's why they got the love bombing, right? That's why they're like, I'm in love with you so quickly. I want you so fast. I want this to work, because it's about getting you intertwined with their lives. It's about solidifying the deal. It's not about actually making sure that you have what you need. It's not about that. In fact, that's why they have to move fast, because the more they can get you to buy into the idea that this is about love, the more they're hoping that you'll stay and you'll get on board with what's next. So if you're a person that wants love, that believes in romance and the magic, they're gonna weaponize that against you to keep you in line with what they want, see? Oh, they're gonna use words like, oh man, I've never felt this way before. This is so unique. This is the first time I've never had anyone made me feel the way that you made me feel. When in reality, you didn't do that much different from someone else. But they got to seal the deal, right? And I know this sounds horrific, but I don't know. I've seen it. So once you get married, if anything, marriage looks great on you, right? Because now you have a husband. Now he's thinking, okay, yeah, but you can still leave the house. See, it's always a little bit more, right? And here's what's interesting is people think that that's how he's thinking. No, the way he's thinking is, I don't want to lose her. But it's not in a healthy way. There's, I don't want to lose her as in, I don't want to lose a person that I can be partners with. And there's, I don't want to lose her as in, I don't want her to think she can just go to someone else that's better than me. It's ego, right? Ego. Ego is in place of authenticity. So when you're not authentic, more than likely, ego is starting to brew. So what he says is, okay, I don't want you to go. I don't want you to leave. Maybe if she has a baby. And then he'll advertise it to you like this. Oh, well, if you have a baby with me, then we'll be so much closer. We'll be together. We'll be happier. You know, don't you want that? You see how it's about making you feel more invested. It's always about rushing. But see, what you might have missed is that this person has not actually done enough to make you feel even good about being here. What has he actually done? And in between what he's done, was it purely because he wanted to make you happy, or was it transactional? So we move forward. So then you get pregnant, you have the baby. Now he's like, okay, now you're really in, you're at home all the time. You're dependent on me full time. Now I don't think you can go after someone else. So now he's starting to feel like, man, I don't know if I want this anymore. Or, man, this isn't as fun as it used to be. Or the excitement's gone. I was in the chase mode. Now I don't have it. What do? Someone else starts to look more interesting. You see how that goes? So hopefully that was understandable. That was a bit more long-winded of an answer. So next one, it says, why, this is funny. Why do narcissists like to play the victim? So it's not that they're playing victim. They think they actually are the victim, right? So now don't get me wrong. They know that they're hurting you. But see, a lot of narcissistic guys or, manipulators, they have a justification program, right? Where they justify their bad behavior. I hurt you, but it's justified. It's supposed to happen. It was meant to happen. And see, the way that they calculate or confirm their justification is by if you stay or if you leave, which is why I tell a lot of my clients, man, you don't want to stay here because this might be doing more bad than good. So, some ladies will ask me, well, how do I get him to change without me having to leave? And I'm like, I'm sorry, but I think leaving is the only way there is a possibility for him to change. So they're like, oh, well, I don't want to do that. Hey, don't get me wrong. I get it. But playing with fire a little bit, because the more you stay, if he doesn't care, see, the thing is, when you stay, what are you actually doing, right? Are you guys still intimate? Are you still kissing each other goodnight? Are you still kissing each other good morning? And let's say we take those off the table. Are you still a support? Are you still around? Are you still taking care of the children? You see, this is how the victim story is going to be designed. Because as long as you're still here, then that shows me that you don't hate it here. You see how they think? I have to be convinced that you hate it here. Otherwise, I'm going to think that you're fine. So if you complain, I'm going to say, well, yeah, that made you upset, but still here. And what that's going to cause is even worse treatment. Before you know it, you're starting to be talked to like you're crazy. He's starting to throw verbal assaults at you. He's starting to call you names and make you feel things and comparing you to different people, because now it's becoming a war. And once you reach that point, more than likely it's over. There's no coming back from that. Now, I'm not saying it can't happen, but the likelihood, I mean, why would you even want that? Why would you want someone that talks to you like that? When that level of disrespect starts to come into the picture, you don't want this in a person. But if you choose to stay, then you're risking the fact that it's going to continue. So the thing is, when you stay, he also feels justified in playing victim and claiming he's a victim. I am the victim. Because in his mind, you haven't left because you want to torture him. You haven't left because you want to make him feel bad. You just want to keep bringing up the past. You see how that works? That's the story he's going to design. So he's not playing. Let me see more questions. By the way, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to comment, share. We are getting this YouTube going. What is the best way to find a good partner? So I did answer this on social media, but I'll do it again here. The best way to find a good partner is to be a good partner. And what I mean by that is, see, people think when I say be a good partner, that means, oh, well, I should just do whatever it takes, right? I should just give them whatever they want and pour into them and, compliment them and give them what they want, buy them things. No, I'm not saying go above and beyond. Don't get me wrong. You want to be a kind person. But what you don't want to do is overcompensate too much, because that is going to be too much. You want to give a manageable personality, right? Who is the real you? What is that? The person that when you've done too much and you're fed up and you feel like you don't want to keep doing this, who's that person? We want that person. Not the person that keeps going just because you think this is the right thing to do. We want you to relax, right? Because that's authenticity, when you don't have to try. Now, don't get me wrong, you're going to have to try sometimes, but you don't want it to be over too much. What you do want to show, your boundaries. Boundaries are what make you really you. Trust me, that's the person you want to show more than anything. Because boundaries is where the person is going to say, I can't just get away with anything here. I can't just do what I want. They're going to have their no. They're going to say no to this, no to that, and I'm going to have to find a way to love them the way that they want to be loved. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is, you want to make sure that you are expressing your no and you are ready to walk away, because it's a numbers game. And once that numbers game starts, it's not about, think of it this way. I told a young lady this one time, if you had a room full of 100 men, they were all compatible, but only one was your guy, right? So they all have things that you could like. It could be looks, it could be charisma, it could be personality, the smell. There could be things that you like about them and that they would like about you. But only one is the one that is for you, officially. Let's say that person is number 78. How are you going to get, let's say they're standing in a single file line. How are you going to get from 1 to 78 quick enough? Because what sometimes we do, and I understand, is we date like one at a time and we put our all into one. If we find one, we're done here. Hang up the towel, and I get it. But then you give too much energy to someone that probably wasn't your one, because you were focused more on trying to make it work than you were trying to see if you guys were truly a match. There's a difference. You see, so I would say, looking at that, how can we change that? You're going to have a vetting system, okay? So a good partner, right? They have a vetting system. They're not just getting with anyone. They're not just dating anyone that long. A lot of our stuff can stop at the beginning. When you talk to someone on social media, and we'll get into this later, when you talk to someone on social media, you can stop that at like, hey, a phone call. You can ask certain questions. Don't be afraid to ask certain questions. So like, for example, if I talk to someone on the phone, there are certain questions I would ask, like, hey, do you want marriage, if that's important to you? Hey, do you want children? Hey, do you want, what's your idea on stable finances? What does that look like? Now, here's the thing. I don't roll them off the top in the very beginning, granted, right? Because we do want to catch a little bit of an energy exchange, or what the kids call a vibe, right? But at the same time, you want to make sure that you're not wasting your time. Because, hey, time is something we can't get back. And we want to make sure that we're spending it wisely. So feel free to ask those questions. If you're on a dating app, if you're in person, yes, you can talk, have light conversation, right? Have fun, because you want to make sure you got that. But at some point, bring those things up. And what some people do is they don't bring it up because they don't want to have to walk away. They're already attached. If you're already attached that quick to someone, I mean, come on. That's like a narcissist playground. We don't want to think in terms of, I have to catch this one, I have to catch that one. We want to think in terms of, how many people can I let go to make sure that the right one turns up? Because when that right one hits, you're going to know. Because they're going to have a lot of the macro level stuff in alignment with you. The macro level, your principles, your beliefs, future goals, what is important to you, what isn't important to you, marriage, plans, house, apartment, things like that need to be in alignment. Now, if you want to argue about the micro things, right? Like, oh man, did you do the laundry today, or did you mix the colors? Oh, man, well, I like matcha at 9 a.m., but you like it at 10 a.m. Oh, you get up too late. See, like stuff like that, that's okay, you know? Those are little things. But the bigger picture things, you got to be in alignment on, because otherwise you're going to get your time wasted. This stuff will show up later on. And like I said, this is clearly my opinion, but with the people that I've worked with, this is what I've seen. So that's what you got to find out. The quicker you can find that out, the better, because then you'll move through the field a lot faster. You don't even have to get too deep. This takes less than a month. In fact, less than 2 weeks, less than 2 conversations. You can find out if this person is a manipulator, or if they're going to mess around, or if they're going to waste your time. So that's what I'm all about. Fail cheap and fail quick, right? That's the motto. Fail cheap and fail quick. Don't take too long to find out that this person is not the right person for you. And that's what I do. So moving forward, when you find that person that's right for you, they'll align on the macro stuff more than likely, and then you can move forward, you know? But it's good. It's good to have this stuff in check. So make sure you're saying your no's, because on their side, they're going to have to do that too. They're going to have to be moving through the dating field just like you are, and they're going to have to make sure that they have their stuff in alignment just like you will have to. Otherwise, however you want to approach it is up to you. This is what I've seen work. So let's go to the next question. Hopefully you guys are having a good time, okay? I'm not used to recording these without having a crowd. Usually I have a live audience or something. I'm sure we'll find a way to figure that out. So I keep getting asked questions about, can a narcissist get back to normal? Can, an avoidant get back to normal? Anxious attachment. Look, at the end of the day, all of this stuff can have some therapy or counseling or coaching like me behind it, right? If you have a person or some type of help, I think that a lot of these things are manageable. I know people who are narcissistic personality disorder and they have gotten better. I know people who are anxious, avoidance, who have worked through this. So yes, it's possible, but if they're not getting work done, if they're not putting in effort, then you are wasting your time. And see, what happens is the longer that you spend time with them and they're not working on themselves, the more they're going to lose the incentive to work on themselves. You see? So make sure they're doing the work, because if not, you're wasting your time here. So we should title this, How Narcissists and Manipulators Will Waste Your Time. Anyway, I know this isn't too long of a video. This is my first one. Glad you guys were able to come on to the ride with me. This has been fun for me. I hope it's been fun for you. We're going to do this again soon. I love you. I appreciate you. And I'll see you on the next YouTube video. Bye, y'all.